Hello and welcome to the latest episode of the Board Masters with me, Chris Mullins, and tonight we will be once again reattempting the hunt for Gollum after last week's catalogue of errors, really. I mean, editing that, I think I played pretty much every card wrong. It was ridiculous, but I'm going to still plead the fact that I'm a relative noob to the hobby and hope that gets excuses me. I don't know how long I can use that excuse, but that's what I'm going with. Yeah, it was pathetic, to be quite honest, and hopefully that won't be the case tonight. So as I said, we're reattempting a hunt for Gollum. I've ditched leadership and law and gone back to spirit and tactics because I tend to just really enjoy playing these two decks, and I have much better success on average with these two than I do with the others. Particularly law. Law seems to be really good if you have one-off powerful enemies like a hill troll or the Nazgul or something where you can use a forest snare and just tie it up. But other than that, it doesn't seem to offer much, in my opinion, so far. Whereas with these, you've got Eowyn, who provides a good balance of questing. Dunhere can attack in the staging area. Eleanor can cancel when revealed effects. Tharlin, his use is a little bit, his ability of dealing 1 damage to each encounter if he's questing is a bit more limited, but against a deck with Eastern Crows in it, that can be quite handy. And then I really like Gimli and Legolas, particularly Legolas. His ability to pet 2 progress tokens on a quest on a kill is quite powerful in my opinion. But with that all being said, let's dive straight on back in with 1A, The Hunt Begins. Gandalf has requested your assistance in the search for the elusive creature known as Gollum. Your search begins in the Anduin Valley between Mirkwood Forest and the Misty Mountains. Set up, reveal 1 card per player from the encounter deck and add it to the staging area, which I've done so far. So we had Evil Storm, which is a treachery, and when revealed, deal 1 damage to each character controlled by each player with a threat of 35 or higher, which does nothing because I'm not at that point. And then we got Flooding, which has Doomed of 1, so we're already bumping up the threat. And it also has Surge, so we draw another one. False Lead. When revealed, the first player chooses and shuffles a card with the printed clue trait back into the encounter deck. If there are no clue cards in play, False Leads gain Surge. River Ninglor. While River Ninglor is the active location, remove 1 progress token from it and from the current quest at the end of each round. Okay, so we finally got through the setup. 1B. You make your way along the banks of the Anduin River, a likely place for Gollum to find food. After the player's quest successfully, the first player looks at the top 3 cards of the encounter deck, reveal and add 1 of these cards to the staging area, and discard the other 2. Which I really like as a mechanic. It makes it really interesting. But let's dive in. For a change, I'm having Spirit as the first player token. Doesn't really make too much difference, but I just noticed that every time I play these decks, I seem to have Tactics as the first player, and I'm not sure why. And I think straight off, I'm going to save these cards, I think, because I've got a couple of Northern Trackers which I really want to use going forward, because there's a lot of locations in this deck, as we saw last week, and they are going to help me power through those. And I've got a couple of useful events for cancelling shadow effects or when revealed effects, which I want to make use of this turn. And just realised that once again I have forgotten my resources. And then, so I'm just going to save everything there, over to Tactics. Okay, Horn of Gondor. I think I'm going to play the Horn of Gondor and attach it to Tharlin. And that gives me a resource pool every time a character is destroyed. And other than that, I'm going to save... Okay. I'm going to save the rest of my tokens because I want to play the Citadel Plate onto Gimli as soon as I can. And then let's go into questing. So I'm going to have Tharlin quest, Eowyn quest. Do I want to discard a card to give +1? Nope, don't think I do at the moment. I might leave it at that for a minute. Okay. The Old Ford. Now this is one of the cards I played terribly last week because I was playing, basically the dread is the number of ally cards in play, and I was playing this as X is the number of players playing, so I was only discarding it, counting it as 2 threat when there were times when I think I had about 9 allies. But in this case, I don't have any allies, so it's going to have a cost of 0. A dread of 0, sorry. And another River Ninglaw. So that's 4 against 5. So I get a quest progress token, and I get to look at the top 3 cards of the encounter deck. Right, so there's not going to be a shadow card, so this is going to be one of the cards that gets drawn next round. I think I'm going to keep Gladden Fields because although it's got quite high dread and I don't like its active location bonus, I figure if I can get these northern trackers in play, then I can power through locations up there, and that's going to end that round basically. That was a quick one. Ready these. Okay, so as I said, I want to get the Citadel plate in on Gimli, which gives him an extra 4 hit points, which really complements his ability to do 1 extra attack for each damage he suffers. And that's going to be that. Okay. So I'm going to bring Northern Tracker into play. Obviously, there is the one worry that now the Old Ford is going to go from 0 dread to 1. But I'm going to take that hit, I think. So in terms of questing, Tharlin, Northern Tracker. 1, 2, 3. And of course, Eowyn. Which gives me 6. I'm already up against 5. I know a 3 is coming out. I might just take the hit on this one. So yeah, Gladden Fields with a 3. And driven by Shadow, each player raises his threat by 1 for each character he controls that is not currently committed to a quest. So that's going to be 2 on either side. And again, there's not going to be any encounters here. And I don't think I want to travel because, again, I'm going to be putting in Northern Trackers. So that's going to end that round. I'm probably being a bit short-sighted here, but we'll see. Okay. So let's get this other tracker in play. 2, 3, 4. And I'm going, oh no, not, I only have one left. Okay, that's that go. Blade of Gondolin, that's coming into play straight away, and that's going on Legolas. So he gets +1 damage when attacking an orc and gets an extra progress token whenever he kills and destroys an enemy. I might get the horseback archer into play as well. Because again, although that's going to make the ford go up another dread, I'm going to get rid of it now anyway. So for questing, I'm going to have Tharlin. I'm going to have Gimli as well. Eowyn, of course, and both trackers, which is going to clear that one. Add 2 more to each of those, and 2 to that one as well. Okay, Eastern Crows, which is 1 damage, so Tharlin's going to kill him before the surge effect comes into play, which is again another part of why I wanted Tharlin in this deck. False Lead, if there are no clue cards in play, False Lead gains Surge. Old Wives' Tale, discard 1 resource from each hero's resource pool, if able, exhaust any hero that could not. And that's one I played completely wrong last time because it came out in the setup, so I assumed it did nothing because there was no resource tokens, when in fact I should have exhausted everyone. But I'm just going to exhaust everyone rather than discard a resource token because I've got no combat again. So that's the end of another round. Oh, hang on. Better check the threat. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 9 against 8. So I quested successfully. So I get to look at the top 3. Right, I think I'll keep the West Bank and discard both of those because I don't want the old ford coming out because that's going to have a dread of 3, and Driven by Shadow is going to do some damage to tactics now because they're going to hit 35 threat now. Right, I need to get some enemies out so Legolas can start racking up some kills. That's the whole point here. Okay. Gondorian Spearman. I do love a Gondorian Spearman. So I'm going to get one of those into play straight away. And I'm going to attach Unexpected Courage. And I'm going to attach that to Legolas because it will allow him to attack and then refresh and then attack again, which should hopefully help me churn through the kills and rack up the progress tokens. Right, so questing again, Tharlin, Gimli, Eowyn and the 2 trackers, and the 2 trackers are going to clear out all of these now. And then we're going to draw the West Bank, and while that's the active location, attachment and event cards cost 1 extra. And Treacherous Fog, each location gets +1 dread, and then each player with a threat of 35 or higher chooses and discards a card from his hand. So that's going to have 4 there against 2, 3, 4, 5 against 9. So I'm going to get 5 progress tokens on there. I am going to travel there, and then I have to discard a card. Oh, from his hand. Oh, that doesn't matter. I'm going to discard and the Eagles are coming card. And that's another round done. But at least we knocked off 5 progress tokens on that one. Okay. A Wandering Took. Not a big fan of a Wandering Took, to be honest. But I am going to get a Lorien Guide into play. I really need to stop getting them into play, to be honest. They're starting to annoy me, but I can't help saying it. 1, 2, 3. And when that commits to a quest, that will add 1 progress token to the active location. And I may as well get another archer in play over here. Again, I've said it again. Sorry, I need to think about something else to say, but it's one of those things. Once it's stuck in your head, it's nigh impossible to get rid of it. Okay, so these are all going to quest, and the Lorien Guide as well, which is going to put a progress token straight on there, and then draw. The Eves of Mirkwood. Well, the Eves of Mirkwood is the active location, encounter card effects cannot be cancelled. And Gladden Fields. So again, raise a threat during the refresh phase, but that's 5 against 10. So that's going to clear that one. And I have 5 left over, which is going to breeze through the first part of this quest. Now, that's one thing I wonder. I've quested successfully. Do I get to look at the 3 cards now? Or I think I do. Let's do it. I'm gonna assume I do. I probably don't, but right. I'm gonna discard the goblins and the hunters and use the crows. Oh, put it face down. And then 2A, a new terror abroad. The wood was full of the rumour of him, dreadful tales even among beasts and birds. The woodman said that there was some new terror abroad, a ghost that drank blood. 2B, rumours have led you to the eaves of Mirkwood Forest, where the woodmen whisper of a new terror in the night. At the beginning of the quest phase, the first player looks at the top 2 cards of the encounter deck, reveal and add 1 of those cards to the staging area and discard the other. Okay, so not quite as useful as the one before, but it should hopefully allow me to find some clues of Gollum, because I need to have some before I clear this stage, or I'm just going to be going in circles. I think I will travel to Gladden Fields, which will mean I must raise my threat by an additional point. And that's the end of another round. Okay. A veteran axe hand. Starting to run out of room here. I may as well play another spearman and the veteran axe hand, I think. And I'm going to play the Galadrin's Greeting on this side for 3, which allows me to reduce any player's threat by 6, which is going to be tactics and get that back down to 32. And then I may as well play a Wandering Took. And questing, so same again. So at the start of the quest phase, the first player, I'm just going to check. No, so you commit characters to the quest in the quest phase, so I would be at the beginning of the quest phase checking 2 of these. A part of me wants to bring the Hunters from Mordor into play just so I can... Oh, no, I won't. Actually, yes, I will. Because the crows will get Surge because Tharlin isn't technically committed to the quest yet. Okay, so now he is. I'm with Eowyn. Both trackers, which is going to clear the Eves of Mirkwood, and the guide, and the Wandering Took. And the guide is going to put a progress token on Gladden Fields. And then draw the 2 cards. Banks of the Anduin. If Banks of the Anduin leaves play, return it to the top of the encounter deck. Again, I don't think I did that last week. And another Hunters from Mordor. But there are no clues of Gollum in play yet, so they're not getting their Dread boost. So that's only 5 against 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 11. So I've got 6 progress tokens. So 2 on Gladden Fields. And then 4 on here. In terms of engagement, I'm going to optionally engage the Hunters from Mirkwood over here. And I think I'll leave the other one up there. Okay. Do I want to travel? Yes, I will. Okay, so, both of these are going to take a damage from Tharlin's ability. Defending is going to be a Gondorian Spearman. No shadow effect on that. So, do I want the Gondorian Spearman? Yeah, I may as well. And that's going to give Tharlin an extra resource token. And then Legolas is going to do 4 damage. Plus, combined with the archers and the veteran axe hound, 2, 4, 6. So they're going to do 10 damage, which is going to kill him. Which is going to add 3 more progress tokens. And that's the end of that round. I really, really, really need to find some clues of Gollum at this point. Okay, I'm going to play another Galadrin's Greeting to reduce my spirit threat by 3 this time. Taking that down to 28. Tactics. Okay, I may as well play my another Gondorian Spearman and a Winged Guardian, which is a new one as part of this cycle, which is an eagle card. Winged Guardian has Sentinel, so it can defend against both tracks. And basically, after it defends, I have to pay a resource or discard him from play. So start the quest phase, draw 2 cards, look at them. I'll discard that and add the Misty Mountain Goblins, because I won't mind if the Misty Mountain Goblins actually knocks a couple of progress tokens off that. So I'm going to have Tharlan Quest, Lorien Guide Quest, which adds a progress token onto the location. What have I got up there? I've got 4. And Eowyn. And so I'll just quest with 6, I think, because I don't mind taking a little bit of a hit. So draw 2 cards. Shadows of Mirkwood. And an Eastern Crows, which is going to get killed by Tharlan. So 2, 4, 6 against 6, which is quite nice, because that's what I wanted. I didn't want to make any progress. In terms of engagement, the goblins can engage over here, and I'm going to optionally engage this hunter over here. No, I'm not. You can stay up there. Oh, I forgot to attack him with done here last turn. Oh well. Okay. So I may as well optionally engage the goblins over this side then, rather than that. And oh, of course that's got damage from Tharlan. I'm going to defend with Gimli. No shadow effect. 2 attack against 2 defense is nothing. And remove a progress token. And I'm not actually going to kill him. I'm going to leave him there. But Dun here is going to attack the hunters from Mordor, so it's going to get an extra attack, which is 3 against 2 to get an extra 1 health down there. And that's the end of another round. Oh, resources. I don't think there's any value playing another axe hand here. So that over to Spirit. Again, I think I'm just going to save the token. So start of the quest phase. Okay. I will reveal the Evil Storm. So deal 1 damage to each character controlled by each player with a threat of 35, which is no one. And then discard the Banks of the Anduin, which is then going to go straight back on top. I'm actually going to assume that by leaves play, that means it's cleared as opposed to discarded. Because otherwise you'll never get rid of it. Because even if it comes out as a shadow card, you would just put it back on top. Or is the point that it's just going to keep clogging it up? No, I'm going to put it back on top of that. Right, questing. So 4, I know 1's coming out. So again, I'm just going to quest with 6. Put another progress token on there. And then we get the Banks of the Anduin. And another Hunters from Mordor. Okay. So I'm going to optionally engage the Hunters from Mordor over here. The damaged one. And then this one's going to engage Tactics because of the threat. defending against the goblin, again, is going to be Gimli. He's done an attack, so that's going to take a progress token off. Shadow effect, and of course that's when the Signs of Gollum comes out. So no damage. Defending against the Hunters from Mordor is going to be a Spearman. I'm glad that one went anyway. So 2 damage is going to kill the Spearman, and so Tharlin gets an extra resource. Over this side, going to defend with the Took. Shadow, if you do not control at least one hero with a clue card attached, return this enemy to the staging area after its attack resolves. Okay, so it's going to do 2 damage, -1 defense, and then it's going to go back to the staging area. It's all getting a bit busy up there. 2, 3, 5, 7. Yeah, so all of my allies are going to team up to kill the hunter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then Legolas is going to kill the goblin, giving me 3 progress tokens. Which again, going to get me close to. And Dun here is going to attack this Hunter of Mordor again. And that's the end of another round. And it is getting pretty desperate for some clues, because if I don't find them, I can't quest in section 3. Again, all resources. Not going to play anything on the spirit side, and I'm not going to play anything on the tactics side either. I may as well just put another axe hand in, just because I'm getting so many tokens. Questing, right, so look at the top 2. Still no sign of Gollum. May as well discard the hunter and put the ease in play. So 2, 4, 5, 7. So let's commit the guide, which is going to clear that. I'm just going to put that back on the top of the encounter deck. So 2, 4, 5, 7. I know 1's coming out, so that'll be 8. So if I quest both the trackers, that's going to clear both of those. And put 2 on Banks of the Anduin. That's 4, 5, 6, 7. I've now got 3 there. I'll leave it at that. So another Banks of the Anduin. Flooding, so Doomed of 1. And Surge. When revealed, discard the top card of each player's deck until the end of the phase. Goblin Town Scavenger's Dread is the total printed cost of all cards discarded plus its normal 1. Okay, so 2 on this side, nothing on that side, so it's 3. So 3, 4, 6, 7, and 4, 5, 6, 7. So threat is even. Do I want to travel? No, I don't. Right, so scavengers are going to engage over here. Although I may as well optionally engage them over this side. He took a damage from Tharlin, and then this one will engage tactics automatically because of the threat. This is where I get another 2 signs of Gollum, I imagine. Right, defending against the Goblin Town Scavengers. Gondorian Spearmen again. The East Bank. If you do not control at least one hero with a clue, return this enemy to the staging area. So it's going to do 1 attack against 1 defense, does nothing. Returns to the staging area. Against the Mordor, I'm going to have Gimli defend. If you do not control at least 1 hero with a clue card attached, double this enemy's base attack. So it's going to do 4 against 2, which is 2 damage to Gimli. Oh, actually, that didn't take a damage from Tharlin because Tharlin wasn't committed to a quest. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I don't want to kill it with Legolas again. So everyone else, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So they're going to kill him. I never thought this would be how this game would play out, to be quite honest. And Dunhere can attack the Scavengers, and he's going to do 3 damage against 0 defense, which is going to kill him. Another round. I mean, this is ridiculously comfortable. I just can't actually do the thing. Did I increase my threat? I'm not sure. I'll do it again just to make sure. I can't actually progress, and I don't want to progress in the quest because I haven't got a single clue yet, which seems ridiculous given how far through the deck I am. And again, I didn't even do the resource tokens, but it almost seems pointless. I mean, I suppose drawing Gandalf would be handy just so that I can reduce my threat on either side, but other than that, right, beginning of the quest. And 2 signs of Gollum, so I'm going to have to discard 1. Amazing. So at least 1's there. And then that's going to be guarded. And then I'm going to draw 2. Another sign, which is going to be guarded by that. Each location in the staging area gets +1. And then I need to draw another one so I can shuffle this back up. But it does mean that that one is now unguarded. Oh, hang on. I haven't actually committed to the quest yet. Right, so that came out before the quest phase, so I knew there was a sign of Gollum there, in which case I would have quested fairly big because I knew I want to do it successfully. So it's going to get cleared. That hasn't been shuffled yet, is it? So I'll shuffle that into a minute. That's going to get 2 on it. Then I draw that as the first card of the quest phase, which is guarded. So then that brought out the Treacherous Fog, and then I had to reshuffle to bring out the next one. Okay, fine. And that is our new discard pile. Each location is +1, so that's going to be 2, 4. That one, he's going to have now 6 dread because there's 2 in play. So that's 10. That's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I'm going to up my threat by 2. And then travel. Hang on. I have a feeling that was a Banks of the Anduin there, wasn't it? In which case, when I cleared that, that would have gone back into the deck, which would have meant that would have come out instead of that. But I've made things harder for myself, so I'm not going to worry about that too much. Now, in terms of the clue, I cannot grab it until I quest successfully. So unfortunately, I can't grab it then. So I don't want to finish the quest in this turn. So hunters are going to engage over here. So have the goblins engage over here. Thalin was committed to a quest, so he will take a damage this time. In terms of defending, I'll have the Winged Eagle, or Winged Guardian defend. Shadow effect is none, so he's going to get +2, so he's actually going to do 6 damage, which is going to kill the eagle, so I don't have to worry about discarding a resource. On this side, we'll have the Took defend, and there's another sign of Gollum. But hopefully, I'm not going to need that one anyway. Remove 1 progress token for the goblin attacking, which is going to do 2 damage, which is going to kill the Took. And then attacking wise, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I still don't want to use Legolas. Gimli's going to do 4, 6, 7, 9, 13. So he's dead. And then 1, 3, hit 2 damage on that. Hang on. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I'm going to kill the first Hunters of Mordor with Gimli, a Spearman, an Archer, and 2 Axe Hands, which is going to leave this Archer free. He's ranged, so he can attack this Goblin along with Eleanor and Dunhere, which is 3, 5 attack, which is going to kill him. Which now has 2 unclaimed Signs of Gollum, so I just need to quest successfully now in order to claim both of those and progress to the next stage of the quest. Okay, Favour of the Lady is going straight on Eowyn because it gives her +1 willpower. And I may as well play another Took just because I'm going to be wanting to quest big on this one. And obviously Thalin got an extra resource for the Winged Guardian dying. He probably should have got one for the Took, but I'm not going to worry. And what am I going to play on this side? It's not really anything I do want to play. So let's just leave it there. So questing Thalin, Gimli, Eowyn, both trackers, which is going to clear that. Loring Guide, the Took. What's that going to be? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 11. If a Hunter from Mordor comes out, that's going to be 6. Let's put Eleanor as well, just to be safe. Right, so I get to look at the top 2. So Old Wives' Tales can go. Oh, I should have done that before. But draw the 2, so Banks of the Anduin's going to return, and the East Bank. So that's 4. So I've quested successfully because I had 12. So I'm going to be able to claim both of these. That one, Signs of Gollum, is going to be attached to Legolas on this side. And this Sign of Gollum is going to be attached to Eleanor. And then I'm going to clear this quest stage. And on to 3A. On the trail. But at the western edge of Mirkwood, the trail turned away. It wandered off southwards and passed out of the Wood Elves' ken and was lost. Any player who does not control a hero with at least one clue objective attached cannot commit characters to this quest, which is why I made sure I split them between the two. If there are ever no heroes with clue objectives, reset the quest deck to stage 2B. Okay, which we don't want. So travelling. I may as well go to the East Bank because that's going to make ally cards more expensive, which at this point I really don't care about. I've got more than enough resources to do whatever I want, really. Okay. May as well play another Axe Hand. And I suppose I can play another Winged Guardian. Try and find the room. And over this side. Again, there's nothing I really want to do. So, questing. So again, I want to blaze through these before I lose my Signs of Gollum. So those two. One progress token on there for the guide. 2 on there for the tracker. And I'll leave it at that. I don't get to look at any cards now. So, driven by Shadow, each player raises his threat by 1 for each character who's not currently committed to a quest. Okay. So I'm going to spend 1 resource to do a Test of Will, which cancels the when reveal effects of a card that was just revealed from the encounter deck. And then it's the Goblin Town Scavengers again. So I need to discard a card. So it gets +2 for this side and +6 for that side. So it gets 9, 10 threat there. So 10 against 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 12. So I'm going to clear that location. And in terms of engagement, it's going to engage here. In terms of travel, go there. So defending, he took a damage from Tharlin. I'll defend with the Eagle. Shadow, deal X shadow cards to this attacker. So it's going to get 2 shadow cards. Nothing on that one. Nothing on that one. So it's going to do 1 damage, which does nothing, and I'll just discard a resource for having him defend. And then Legolas is going to finally get to join in and kill the Goblin Town Scavengers, giving me 1 progress location on there, 1 progress token, sorry, and 2 there. So that's going to go back on top. End of that round. And the only thing that's going to stop me here is if I get another sort of driven by shadow card, which then pushes certainly tactics out of the game. I've got 3 stand-up and fights in a row. But that might be quite handy now, actually, because I can use that. I can spend 6 resources. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. To put Bjorn into play. And then back to tactics. Gandalf, that's perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's going to decrease my threat by 5, back to 37. And then questing. Gimli, Thalin, Gandalf, Bjorn may as well, Eowyn, Tracker's Guide, Took. I'll keep Eleanor for cancelling anyone revealed. So, Banks of the Anduin, of course, we knew that was coming. And the Eastern Crows, which is going to die as a result of Thalin. Okay, I keep forgetting to, after Eastern Crows is defeated, shuffle it back into the encounter deck. I don't think that would have made any difference to this, to be honest. So I'm going to let myself off that mistake, but that is annoying. So I think I might win here. That is one threat there against 4, 6, 7, 8, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So I'm going to get 15, which is going to easily clear that. And if the players defeat this stage, the players have once again found a true sign of Gollum's passing and won the game. That was remarkably easy. Again, I can't help feeling I made some terrible mistakes there, but I know the really difficult cards in this deck are the Hunters of Mordor, but they're dependent on the signs of Gollum being in play, and because they came out so late, I wasn't really struggling with that. And also the Old Ford, which would have absolutely hammered me if it came out at this point, because its dread is 1 for each allying play, so I would have had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I probably still would have quested successfully, but it would have been 13 every single time. And I managed to avoid both of those doing any damage. The only thing that was putting me in any real danger of failing was the signs of Gollum not coming out. And when they did seem to come out, it felt like they came out as shadow effects and then got discarded. And I was worried that tactics would hit the 50 threat and then it would all unravel from there. But after the absolute mess that was my playthrough last week, I'm hoping, bar the Eastern Crows thing and maybe the Banks of the Anduin, that it was fairly error-free and it was an absolute demolition of a hunt for Gollum. So I have no idea what the next one is off the top of my head. I've got it in here, so bear with me. No, it's not that one. I'm pretty certain the second one, I may be wrong, and feel free to correct me, and I will obviously check before next week. I'm pretty certain the next one is A Journey to Rosgobel, which I will play next week. I might have a little look through... No, I'm not going to. I'm going to wait and see what it is next week. But I'll leave that for a minute. It's going to be hard for me to resist going with Tactics and Spirit again, because they're just so... I think they're such a great team and I have no success with the other two. But if you really want me to use a different combination, comment down below and I will try it. But otherwise, I think I'll stick with these guys. And I hope you enjoyed that as much as I did, because that was... Well, I almost enjoyed that less than last week because it was that easy. And even though I made loads of mistakes last week, it was a close... It led to a close game that was really enjoyable. But I still did enjoy it, just maybe it was more of just a waiting game, really, and just churning through the encounter deck to get those signs of Gollum. But I hope you join me again next week. I hope you enjoyed that playthrough, as I said, and thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a good one, look after yourself, and stay safe. Cheers. Bye-bye now.